Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Kelsey, and we are going to get started right away on our backs. If you have blocks, a strap, and even a blanket will be nice for class. So let's go ahead and get started on our back. Find any supine position that feels good. The arms and the legs can go out long. You can bend both legs, maybe just one leg, whatever feels good for the low back. And then you can snug the shoulder blades underneath you, trying to create a little more space between the shoulders and the ears. Feel free to open and close the mouth, really relaxing through the face, through the jaw. And just take some time for yourself to arrive here, to connect with your space, your surroundings, to just acknowledge any outside noises, any outside distractions. Just allow them to be there in the background, but no need to hold on to them, to cling. And if it feels right, always an option to connect with the breath. Starting to feel the rise and the fall of the chest, of the belly. No need to change the breath, just noticing. And if connecting with the breath doesn't feel right, no need to do it. But just using the breath maybe as a technique to help you stay here, present with the body. The mind loves to live in the past and also chase after the future. So maybe for the next hour, you just spend time being right here, right now. Being aware of what's happening within your body, within your space. Seeing if you need to release things, let go. But if the mind does wander off, that's okay. Just being aware and then bringing it right back here. And then always an option to set a focal point or an intention for your practice. This can be a word, a phrase. It can also be very simple, just coming back to the breath. Letting the breath be your focal point, anchoring you here to this moment, this breath. So if you have a focal point, an intention, you can set it now. Maybe place it at the third eye, the space between your eyebrows, holding it there, coming back to it whenever you need to. Whenever the mind wanders off, whenever maybe the mind tells you you can't do something, come back to the breath, come back to your intention. Come back to that reason why you're here. Then we'll seal it in with a couple rounds of cleansing breath. Whenever you're ready, take a deep inhale in through the nose, fill the belly, the chest, maybe hold the breath at the top. Then slow and steady, open mouth exhale, share it off, let it go. Beautiful, one more deep inhale, filling up with your intention, your focal point. Slow and steady exhale, let it go. And then you can let your breath come back to your rhythm, your pace. Maybe see if you can take it in and out through the nose. But know that you can take open mouth exhales whenever needed. And then just a reminder, as you practice today, honor what you need. No need to push yourself over the edge. Find rest, adjust when needed. This is your practice, your body, so make sure to tap inward and find your inner teacher. And honor your body, your practice, honor this moment. And with that being said, you can stay here as long as you want, but whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to reawaken. Maybe wiggle the fingers, the toes. You You can even start to roll the ankles, the wrists, maybe let the head rock heavy side to side. Might feel good to take a nice full body stretch, reach the arms up overhead, send the legs long, take a couple wiggles. And then option to bend the legs, and then find some organic movements here. Maybe sway the knees side to side. You can even lift the feet off the ground and take some movement here. Grab for the shins. Let the knees kind of rock side to side. Maybe draw some circles with the knees. Kind of allow the low back to kind of press down, finding a little massage. And we're going to slowly start to warm up the spine along with kind of the major joints, the shoulders and the hips. So go ahead, place your feet flat on the ground. And before we go anywhere, let's just kind of establish, engaging, the front body to help, decompress the low back. So you want to keep the low back nice and long and supported, and make sure we're not crunching or dumping weight into the low back. So I'm going to say a lot. Draw the front ribs towards the pelvis, and your pelvis, which is this bone bowl where your hips are, towards the front ribs. You're going to kind of pull everything towards the navel, towards your belly button. And as you do that, you should feel your low back press down to the ground, and you should feel, everything super strong here in the front, right? So your abdominal muscles, not just your six-pack abdominals, but everything around it and underneath it, which is really important, right? So feel that strength, but also, feel support in the low back. Okay, so make sure we're not dumping weight back there. We're not compressing the low back. We're not pinching the low back. Right, so this is kind of imprint position in the world of Pilates. So imprint. All right, so just breathe here. Try to relax the shoulder head, soften the jaw. Good. And then you can kind of relax a little bit, but make sure you find a spot that feels good for the low back. And then arms can reach off to the side, palms face down. And then listen to the shoulder joints. When you're ready, slowly inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Stay here, or slowly exhale, reach them overhead. So opening up the shoulders, stretching them out. Go where you need to. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, place them back down to the ground. So moving at your own pace, moving with your breath. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So go ahead, go at your own pace. And I teach more with a yoga breath. So a lot of times it's in and out through the nose. With Pilates, you can take the exhale out through the mouth, like you're breathing through a straw. So kind of like a circle shape with the lips. But I tend to just breathe in and out through the nose. But, explore, see what feels right. And if you need to finish the round you're on, we'll meet back with the arms off to the ground. Good. And then check, the low back, check the belly, see if you need to adjust a little bit. So you don't try to be over gripping here, but just, still finding length in the low back. And then the arms are going to come off to the side like a T. So we're going to do the same thing now, but now lifting the arms kind of off to the side and then overhead. So palms can be face up, arms off to the side like a T position. And then as you inhale, lift the arms up, maybe kind of bring the fingertips together. And then as you exhale, open up. So inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Good, so go at your own pace, starting to warm up the shoulder joints. Even kind of starting to activate your pec muscles, your chest. Good, inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Beautiful, one more. Good, awesome job. Now you can keep your left arm where it's at. We're gonna come into fetal positions. You're gonna roll to the left in your choice. I always have a little yoga bolster or a little pillow and I place my head on it. Or you can kind of place the left hand underneath the left arm or keep it off to the side. Just make sure the neck is supported or that feels good. So you're all the way over to the left side. And now we're gonna add rotation here with the shoulder joint and the spine. So as you inhale, you're gonna open up. Adding on, stay, or as you exhale, twist into it. So inhale, lift the right arm back to the sky. Exhale, lower, right hand to the left. Moving with the breath, inhale, open. Exhale, maybe twist. Don't have to go far. Inhale, open. Exhale, back down. So go ahead, go at your own pace. Just being aware, seeing how this feels in the right shoulder, the spine. Good, and then we're going to do one more. And then you can hold in the twist, all right? And make sure to adjust here. So note the right shoulder does not have to touch the ground. I like to kind of wiggle and lift my left shoulder to make room for the right and kind of, find this gentle supine twist. So the right shoulder blade does not have to be super grounded. Even the knees can lift up. And then you can always keep the gaze up towards the sky, or maybe chin falls over to the right. And then as you inhale, you can always think about lengthening, growing tall through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, gently twist. Awesome work. One more. Inhale. Gently twist as you exhale. Good. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So when you're ready, kind of roll back to center, come back into the spine, and then you're going to roll to fetal pose on the right. So stay where you're at, or if you need to adjust, belaying on the right side. Right arm can go off to the side, maybe bend the right arm, whatever feels good. Just make sure the head is supported. And then left arm will come out in front of you. And then as you inhale, lift the left arm high. As you exhale, maybe open up into the twist. So inhale, lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, gently twist. So take these on your own. Make them unique to what you need right now. Maybe you've had a long day or a long week. Maybe you need to go a little slower. Maybe you need to go a little faster and you need more heat. It was 100 degrees here today. So if you need to, take rest. No worries. Good, and then option to hold the twist, only if it feels right. So left arm can reach behind you. Maybe you just kind of let the left arm hover, or maybe you kind of adjust, maybe wiggle the hips, the right arm underneath you to make room for the left. And I practice next to a wall, which is great because I always grab it for support. And then you can stay here, maybe allow the chin to gently fall towards the left side. Imagine like a dirty towel here, right? You're rinsing out that dirty towel. Belly can reach to the left as maybe the knees reach to the right. Take an inhale. Gently twist as you exhale. Good, and then come back to center. And then from this fetal pose, you can use that left hand to gently press up to a seat. Good. Actually, not a seat. We're going to come into tabletop. So if you would like, grab a blanket, place it underneath the knees, coming onto all fours. Shoulders can be on top of the wrists, hips on top of the knees. And take about 5 to 8 rounds of breath here, whatever you need. Maybe sway the hips side to side, just like you did on the ground. And maybe sway a little bit, wag your tail. Or option to move into cat-cow. So you're going to start to, focus, see how the pelvis kind of dips forward and back, and see how that, affects the back, right? So from neutral position, neutral spine, as you inhale cow, allow the belly to lower, your tailbone, your pelvis will start to kick up to the sky and start to lift the heart. So a little back bend here. And then as you exhale cat, allow the pelvis to scoop underneath you like you're tucking your tail. Press the ground away, maybe ears come down in line with the biceps, around the spine. So option to move with the breath here. As you inhale cow, lower the belly, gently lift the heart. Exhale cats, round the spine, breathe between the shoulder blades. And maybe one more. Awesome work. And then coming back into tabletop position, coming back into neutral. So like you did on the ground, think about drawing your front ribs to your pelvis and your pelvis towards your front ribs. Find some length in the low back as you really activate the front body. And then take a look at your hands. So you want to kind of create these bear claws. So gently spread the fingers, and then you're going to grip your fingertips and then the knuckles that are on your hand and the heel of your hand into the ground. So really like squish your hand, grip your hand into the mat. You might create a little pocket in the middle of your hand. So really, really active fingers, active hands. So you're not dumping weight into the wrist joints. Okay? And then kind of like lift up out of the shoulders, but keep the shoulder blades flat on the back. Now your choice. You can stay here or extend your right leg long. Toes can stay on the ground. Start to drive your right heel to the wall behind you. Breathe into your right calf. It might even feel good to take movements here. Shift forward and back. Breathe into your toes, the arch of your foot. And then coming back forward, shoulders will come over the wrists. Check out the fingers, the hands, grip down, press, lift up. And then keep the front ribs pulling to the pelvis. Maybe explore lifting your right toes off the ground. Now think about flexing your right toe. So flex the toes towards you. And then gently draw your right pinky toe down. So you want to keep the hips in line. Check out the low back. See if you're arching. Front ribs draw to the pelvis. Press down through the hands. Press down to the top of your left foot. And then you can stay here. Right toes can even come back to the ground. Or maybe spinal balance or swimmers, sometimes it's called. Reach the left fingertip forward. Left thumb will point to the sky. Really tough. Press down, lift up. Draw everything to your strong center to lift up out of the right hand and out of the left foot. Good. Reach with the fingertips, the toes. Now take an inhale. Maybe you lift a little bit. And then as you exhale, maybe tap the ground. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap. Good. Maybe one more. Inhale. Exhale, tap. Now inhale, lift up. Exhale, release, child's pose. Big toes to touch, knees can go wide, send the hips back. If you would like, grab a pillow, maybe place it underneath you or let your hips hover. And then any choice here, maybe relax, let the arms kind of be heavy. Maybe place a block or your fists underneath the forehead. And slow the breath down. Child's pose is a great spot to come back in, to check in. But if child's pose doesn't feel right, or if the heart rate is still up, don't be afraid to take a seat. By reconnecting maybe to your focal points, maybe the breath, or coming back to your intention, that reason why you showed up today. Take a deep inhale, allow the back body to rise, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, soften into it. Beautiful. Let's take one more deep inhale. Slow and steady exhale. Let it go. Good. Awesome job. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly come back up. And then let's do the other side, and then we'll stretch out the wrists. Right? So active fingers, active hands. Grip down, lift up. And then extend the left leg long. Keep your toes on the ground. Find a calf stretch. Drive the left heel away. It might feel good to stay here. It might feel good to rock forward and back. Whatever you need. Always an option to explore. And then start to place your shoulders back on top of the wrists. Top of your right foot can really press down. Find support there. Front ribs to pelvis, pelvis to front ribs. And then maybe float your left toes off the ground. So left toes are flexed. You can even think about driving through your left heel. Keep engagement through the center, front ribs to pelvis. And then press the ground away. Good, so strong. Stay here. Left toes can always come back down. Or maybe extend the right arm, thumb points toward the sky. Kind of reach through the fingertips, extend back through the heel. Now try to keep the left pinky toe pressing down, hips in line, strong center. Stay here. Option to add on. As you inhale, maybe lift a little bit. As you exhale, maybe tap the ground with your left pinky and your right pinky and your left toes. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Good. Now inhale, lift. Exhale, child's pose, balasana. Big toes to touch, knees can go wide. You can even give the shoulders some love, maybe fingertips back towards the toes. You can always let the forehead rock side to side. Slow it down. And just take time here to remind yourself, this isn't a competition. We're not here to perfect. We're not here to find these, perfect postures. We're here to explore our bodies, maybe see what we need to work on, see what we need to let go, and also to enjoy the journey. So as best as you can, honor where you're at. Take a breath, deep inhale, find gratitude for all your hard work. Open mouth, exhale, share it off. Okay, let's take one more deep inhale. Slow and steady exhale. Good. Stay where you're at. Whenever you're ready, you can come on up. And then let's stretch out the wrists. I'm going to give you a couple options. So from tabletop position, you can start to point your fingertips towards the outside edges of your mat and kind of just sway side to side here. Maybe take some circles, go one way, go the other. And then you can always stay here, or another option would be to maybe rotate a little bit more. So maybe point your fingertips towards the knee. And you can always do this one hand at a time. And same thing, you can stay here, maybe kind of sway, do some circles. Good, and then release, roll the wrist, go one way, go the other. And then we're going to kind of do the opposite. I'll give you two options. So maybe this reverse prayer, because now we're focusing on the tops of the wrists, the forearms. So tops of the hands can kind of press into one another, fingertips can point down. And you can kind of, maybe draw the elbows down, see how that feels. Or same thing, fingertips will point inward, right? And try not to place all the pressure in the wrist. So you can kind of lift up, and same thing if you need to, maybe kind of round the spine. Think of like your cat back here. So you're not just arching the low back, so you can kind of lift up. And then always an option to stay, or maybe rotate the hands even more, maybe one at a time. Fingertips can always point to the knees. Same thing, kind of lift up, breathe into the tops of the wrists, tops of the forearms. And if this is new to you, this is going to be intense. So no need to force it, adjust when needed. Good, and then when you're ready, slowly release, roll the wrists out, go one way, go the other. Beautiful work. All right, let's give the wrists a break. So we're going to come back onto our back. We're going to do some more Pilates work, do some, engaging through the core once again. And then we'll kind of shift into some more yoga. So come back onto your back, find in-front position. So draw the front ribs to the pelvis to the ribs. All right, so find that length in the low back, feel your low back kind of anchored down. And then I like to always kind of place my hands on my belly to kind of see, how this feels. You're not so much pulling the belly in, but you're contracting towards the center. All right, so kind of like using all this pressure in your belly to protect the low back. Okay. Now, option to kind of walk the heels forward a little bit, and the toes are going to point to the sky. Okay, and then stay here, know that you're working, or maybe start to slide your right heel towards the right corner of your mat, and then you can slide it back to center. Slide the left heel, and then slide it back. Slide the right, pull it back, slide the left, pull it back. So feel free to explore at your own pace. All right, just making sure the low back is supported. Take rest when needed. Try to relax the jaw, the shoulders. Maybe 4, 3, keep breathing, 2, and last one, even out the sides if needed. Good, now you can stay, find rest, or maybe do both legs. Slide both heels to the corners, and then slowly drag it back in. Extend. Inhale, pull it back in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, pull it back in. Good, maybe one more, so strong. Pull it back in. Good, awesome work, release, maybe a full body stretch. You can always interlace the fingers, press the palms away, take some wiggles, beautiful work. Good, and then start to bend the right leg. You can start to lift the right foot to wind moving pose. Maybe draw the right knee towards kind of the right shoulder, the right armpits. Kind of give the right knee a squeeze. And even sway the knee, maybe roll the right ankle. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Good. Now from here, keep pulling the right knee kind of towards the right shoulder. And then flex your left toes towards you, engaging through the left leg. Check in with the low back. See if you're arching. Draw the front ribs towards the pelvis. Stay here. Maybe lift the left heel. Stay, or maybe lift the forehead towards the knee. Awesome work. Squeeze it all to center. Make sure to breathe. Good. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, release. Left knee will pull in to meet the right. Full wind moving pose. Drop both legs in. Maybe relax the toes, the feet. Good. And then other side. Extend the right leg. Let it rest there to start. Draw the left knee in. Maybe sway the knee. Roll the ankle. Open and close the mouth. Soften the shoulders. Good. And then slowly start to draw the left knee towards the left side. And then left foot can flex. Start to flex the right toes. Really feel the right leg engaged and strong. Check with the low back. Draw the front ribs to the pelvis. And then you can stay here. Know you're working. Or maybe float the right heel a little harder. Option to stay. Or maybe lift the forehead towards the left knee. Doesn't have to touch. Find that length in the low back. Find that support there. Soften the shoulders. So strong. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right leg pulls in to meet the left. Shake it off. Open and close the mouth. Good. And then nice full body stretch. Extend the arms, the legs. Good. And then lastly, we're going to take some kind of rolls. So pull both knees back into the chest. Maybe grab for the thighs or the shins. And know that you can skip this. This is definitely hard. All right. And then option to start to use momentum. Kind of rock forward and back. Okay. So the roll here, and kind of using momentum, but using a lot of core work to kind of help us roll forward and back. Now we're going to meet in down dog. So option to take tabletop or down dog first. Know that you can always just roll to that fetal pose and press yourself up, or start to cross the ankles, edges of your feet press down, hands to the ground, press down, see if you can lift up, step the feet back. Doesn't have to be that fancy. Know that you can always just come into tabletop or down dog. But first down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find this triangle shape in the body. And the first time we're here, so feel free to pedal out the legs, bend one knee, bend the other, maybe kind of sway the hips. You can always shake the head yes, shake it no. Open and close the mouth. But like we did in tabletop, make sure the hands are really active. Spread the fingers. Really grip the hands, the fingertips down to lift the hips high. And then bring awareness to your shoulders, kind of like the shoulder joints, the shoulder blades. See if you're kind of collapsing. Think about lifting space between the shoulder blades, maybe kind of lifting your inner elbows to the sky. Right? So if you really open shoulders, which I do not, so I can't even show you what that looks like, try not to just drop everything into the shoulder joints. Think about kind of lifting up. Front ribs to pelvis. Maybe bend the legs. Heels will drive down, but the heels do not have to touch. Awesome work. Shake the head yes, shake it no. Know that down dog is an active posture. It's not a resting posture. You're working your shoulders here as you open up the backside of the body. Now when you're ready, slowly walk your hands to meet your feet. Ragdoll, nice relaxed forward fold. Keep it bending the legs as much as needed. Maybe cross the arms at elbows. Sway side to side. Shake the head yes, shake it no. You can even interlace the fingers behind you. Maybe lift the knuckles overhead. You can always use your strap here. And then when you're ready, slowly release. And take your time here. Let your blood pressure reset. Slowly roll up. Let the head be heavy, the arms. Once you come to standing, take any movements, roll the shoulders up and down, maybe kind of roll the head and the neck. Good. And then wherever you're at, we're going to meet at the top of your space, the top of your mat. So you can walk forward if you would like. So we're going to do some kind of like moon salute, start to warm up the spine even more. And then we'll slow it back down. All right. So meeting into Tadasana mountain pose. So your feet, your ankles, can be right underneath your hip bones. So these pointy hip bones, not so much the outside of the hips, right in the middle here, okay? So maybe a little bit closer than hip width. I like to sometimes bring my feet a little bit closer, so feel free to adjust. And then if you like, even place your hands on the hips and kind of adjust the pelvis, kind of do that cat-cow standing. But you want to find a spot where your pelvis is right underneath kind of the shoulders and the ribs, so the low back is long and supported. Front ribs will kind of draw down. And then maybe lift the shoulders, roll them back, palms can shine forward. And then bring awareness back to the feet. Try to soften the toes, lift from the arches of your feet. And then maybe send your gaze kind of over the horizon out in front of you, or maybe even close the eyes. Know that you may sway side to side. But feel the ground underneath you, feel that support. Then maybe feel the energy from the earth helping you lift up. And then feel the strength of your body, right? Things that are engaged, the feet, the legs, the core, the shoulders, even the neck muscles to help you lift up as gravity pulls us down. And then option to take a breath here. Deep inhale into the nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Good, awesome work. Slowly inhale, reach the arms forward or maybe overhead. Listen to the shoulders. And then we'll add a side body stretch. As you exhale, maybe right arm off to the side or right hand to right thigh. Reach the left arm up and overhead. Maybe kind of gaze up. Inner thighs squeeze in, front ribs pull down. Take a breath, inhale. Gently reach up and over as you exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, take it to the left hand off to the side or maybe down to the thigh. Front ribs draw down, inner thighs squeeze in. Maybe relax the right shoulder, big inhale. Gently reach up and over as you exhale. Good, inhale, come back up to center. And then as you exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Keep a bend in the legs so your flat back is nice and long. And slowly come down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to your shins. Send the shoulder blades down your spine, gaze to your toes. Keep the front ribs pulling in. Keep the low back long and neutral. So very active posture here. Gaze to the toes, back of the neck is long. And then take an inhale. Exhale, step your left foot back. Come onto the left knee. Anjaneyasana, kneeling lunge. Hands can stay or slowly reach the arms overhead. You can tuck the left toes or maybe press the top of your left foot down. Kind of draw your right heel and your left knee to center. Front ribs in. Maybe hands to blocks or reach the arms overhead, or hands can always come to the heart. Beautiful. Take a breath, big inhale. As you exhale, down dog. Hands to the ground. Step your right foot back. Adho Mukha, down dog. Press the ground away. Know that tabletop is there. Take an inhale. Slowly let it go as you exhale. And now we're going to come to the top of the mat. So gaze forward, kind of lift the heels, find space. Bend the legs, step, walk, and make your way to the top. And once you're there, halfway lift, palms to your shins or the blocks, shoulders down the spine. Take an inhale. Exhale, forward fold, release. Now keep a little bend in the legs. Root down, rise up. Inhale, extended to Tadasana, right where we started. Exhale, hands to heart, pulling in. Good, check in, slow it down. Good, so we'll do the same thing other side. So root down, inhale, extended to Tadasana, reach up, maybe gaze goes up. Inner thighs squeeze in, front ribs down. As you exhale, side body stretch, take it to the right. Good, inhale back up to center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale back up to center. Beautiful work, flowing one breath, one movement. Exhale, forward fold, moving meditation. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins, and the shoulder blades down the spine. And then right foot will step back. Come onto the right knee, great place to use your blankets. And then right toes can stay tucked under or right foot presses down. And then Anjaneyasana, maybe reach the arms overhead. Sorry for the sun. But allow the right hip to draw forward as the left hip presses back. You might find some space here in the right thigh. Front ribs pulled down. Beautiful work. Adjust the hands if needed. Listen to the shoulders. Good. Take a breath. Inhale. And then as you exhale, down dog. Hands to the ground. Step your left foot back. Beautiful work. Check in here. Take an inhale. If you need it, slow exhale. Good. And then come into the top of your mat. Lift your heels, gaze forward. Bend the legs. Step, walk to the top. Once you're there, halfway lift, take an inhale. Exhale, fold. Root down, grow tall. Inhale, extended to Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart, pulling in. Good, take some time, check in. See how you feel. See if you need to adjust. See if you need to take a break. Make this your own. Make this unique to what you need. So what we'll do is create a little more heat and then we'll slow it back down. So we'll turn that into more of that moving meditation. But feel free to go at your own pace. Add on, take away. All right, here we go. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Circle the arms overhead. Exhale, side body stretch. Take it to the right. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, side body stretch to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Coming through center, a little bit in the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms to shins, shoulder blades down the spine. Exhale, left foot steps back. Come on to the left knee. Stay here. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Kneeling lunge, arms can circle high. Exhale, down dog. Hands to the mat. Step your right foot back. Lift the heels, gaze forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the legs. Step, walk, top of your mat. Once you're there, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, extended to Tadasana, a little bit in the legs, protect the low back. Exhale, hands to heart, pull it in. Good, last round. Inhale, extended to Tadasana, reach the arms high. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, bring it down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulder blades down the spine. Right foot steps back. Come on to the right knee. Stay here. Inhale, rise. Anjaneyasana, left hip back, right hip forward. Front ribs pulled down. Take an inhale. Down dog. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back. Lift your heels, deep inhale breath. Bend the legs, bottom of your exhale, step or walk, top of your mats. Once you're there, halfway lift, long neutral spine. Exhale, fold. Root down, rise up, inhale, extended to Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart, pull it in. Beautiful work. Take an inhale. Maybe open mouth, exhale. Good, awesome job. All right, stay where you're at. We're gonna slow it down a little bit. I'm just gonna switch sides so I can face you all. And we'll play with the hips a little bit and then we'll come on to our backs. So Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Nice and slow. Right foot's gonna stay forward and then you can step your left foot back. So right toes are gonna point straight forward. Left toes are gonna point off to the side. Right knee is gently gonna press towards the pinky edge of the right foot. So if the knee is kind of pulling in, that's okay. You're just training the body a little different here to maybe engage more of the glute. Think about drawing the right knee over towards the edge of your right foot. And then try not to lock the back knee. That's what I do is I lock the back leg. Think about grounding down to the edge of your left foot, but lift from the left heel. Turn on your left glute. Now any variation with the arms, right? Traditional Warrior 2 arms, you can reach the arms forward and back. You can keep the hands at hearts. You can, grab for opposite shoulders. You can reach behind you, right? Find what you need here. Know that the arms reaching forward and back are definitely working, so take a rest when needed. And then then see if you can turn your inner thighs on. Think about drawing the right heel and the left arch towards center. So kind of squeezing everything to center. Front ribs still pulling down. Beautiful work. Take a breath, inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then inhale, reverse warrior. Flip your right palm to the sky. Reach up and back. Left hand can come down the left thigh. Think about your right shin pulling forward so you keep the lunge in the front knee. Breathing into the right ribs. Keep the front ribs pulling down. Gaze up or down. Listen to the neck. Good. Take an inhale. Gently reach up and back as you exhale. Good. Last inhale breath here. Good. Exhale back to warrior two. And then lift up, straighten through the right leg. Turn your right toes in. Place your hands at the hips. So look at your feet. Heel to heel alignment. Toes can turn in, heels out. So you're internally rotating your hips. Create a little more length in the low back. And then take a breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, hinging forward, coming all the way down to the ground. Adjust the stance. So you can make your stance longer, shorter. You can, take your blocks with you. You can bend the legs. But I gave you about 5 rounds of breath here to just explore, right? I love movement. So if it feels good for you today, maybe take some movement, kind of some side lunges, then the right leg and then the left leg, kind of going side to side, getting into the inner thighs. And 2, you can always just hang out. Let gravity do the work. So toes in, heels out. Keep a little bit in the legs, never lock the legs. And then gently shift the weight forward. Think about lifting from your sit bones, your butt bones. Shake the head yes, shake it no. And then take a breath, deep inhale. Maybe you can soften into it as you exhale. Good, and then find that halfway lift here. So kind of place your palms underneath the shoulders. Draw the front ribs to the pelvis. Maybe hands come to the hips. Nice flat back. Inhale, rise. Coming back up. Good, then we're going to go right to warrior two on the other side. So left toes point to the left. And then start to bend into the left knee. You can always adjust the feet. So if you need to adjust the right foot, maybe where the toes are pointed, or maybe how long the stance is. Right? Honor what your anatomy needs. And then the left knee will gently press to the pinky edge. Right? Find space in the inner thigh. Turn on the glutes. A little bit in the right knee. And then think about lifting from the arch of your right foot. Kind of find your strong glute muscles. And then any variation of the arms. They can stay at heart, the hips. Maybe reach behind you. Maybe find those warrior two arms. Shoulders will stay on top of the hips. Maybe gaze over the front middle finger. Make sure those shoulders are creeping towards the ears. Relax the shoulders back. Awesome work. And then squeeze everything to the center. Find your inner thighs. Draw them in. Beautiful work. So strong. Soften the toes. Take an inhale. Settle into it as you exhale. Good. And then reverse warrior. Flip your left palm. Inhale, reach up and back. Think about your left shin drawing forward. Keeping the lunge. And lift up from the left hip. Breathe into that space between your left ribs, your intercostal muscles. Relax the left shoulders. Maybe draw the front ribs more to the pelvis. Gaze can be up. Maybe look back, down to the ground, whatever you need. Good. Take a breath. Inhale. Gently reach up and back as you exhale. Good. Back to warrior two. And then straighten through the left leg. Turn the left toes in. And then from here, heel toe or hop your feet to center. Good. Awesome job. Beautiful work. All right. So lastly, a little bit of balance. And then we'll stretch it out. So we're going to do tree pose today, Vrikshasana. Great place to use a wall. Great place to grab a chair and kind of hold on to the back of the chair. All right. So we'll ground down through the right foot. And then place your left foot to the ankle, the shin. And just like you did in warrior two, your left knee is going to start to press away. So you can feel your strong glute kick on. Hands can stay at the heart, the hips, they can reach down. So know your left toes can stay kind of like a kickstand can stay grounded, or maybe start to slide your left foot maybe towards the calf or even all up to the inner thigh. But I want you to think about pressing the left knee away, squeezing the glutes, kind of lifting up out of the right hip. So you're not sinking in, lift up. Front ribs down. You can always grow your arms like branches, sway in the wind. And then find a focal point, something out in front of you that's not moving. And let your vision, your sight, help you stay focused. And you're finding a lot of strength in the foot to the ankle, the calf. See if you're kind of dropping into the right hip, squeeze the right glute to lift up. Soften the shoulders, the jaw. Good, so strong. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, release. Good, shake it out. Maybe roll the right ankle. Beautiful work. All right, other side. So ground down through the right foot. We just did that. Ground down through the left foot. Tree pose. Right foot will come to the ankle to start. So keep your toes on the ground. Right knee will gently press away. Feel your strong glute. And even start to squeeze your left glute. Right? So you want to just be hanging out in the hip joint. Right? So squeeze that glute. Beautiful. And then you can always stay hands at heart. Maybe you want to slide the right foot up. And some people cue, to press the foot into the leg. If that feels great, do it. If not, skip it. But the right knee will press away. Squeeze the glutes, especially the left side here. Really strong left leg. And then see if you're gripping your left toes. Try to soften. Good. Ground down, lift up. Relax the shoulders. And make sure you find your gaze, your jersey, that non-moving focal point out in front of you. Maybe reconnect with the breath. Good. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, release. Good work. Shake it out. Roll the left ankle. And it's okay to sway. It's okay to fall. Yoga and Pilates, it teaches us that we can fall, we can fail, and we can get back up. All right? So don't have to perfect. You don't have to hold it the longest. You being here is what matters. All right. Awesome work. Come all the way down onto your back. Beautiful job. Let's stretch it out and then call it a day. So once you're on your back, maybe take a full body stretch, or you can bring the knees to the chest, kind of rock side to side. Give your low back some love. Draw some circles. And then your left foot can come to the ground. Figure 4. Cross the edge of your right foot to the top of the left thigh. Keep your right toes flexed. And then gently draw the right knee away. Okay? So you're kind of making that number 4 shape in the legs. And start to bring awareness to the right hip, the right glutes. And find a spot where you can breathe some space or maybe release some tightness in this right hip, right glute area. There's a lot of variations. You can place your left foot on the wall. You can place your left foot on a block, right? And just gently draw the right knee away. Or you can always, lift the left leg as high as you want. Maybe interlace the fingers behind the thigh. But if you're grabbing for the leg and it's causing stress in the shoulders, adjust. And you can always start to close the eyes, slow it down. Maybe wiggle out the jaw. You can even take movement here, maybe kind of rock. See how that feels for the low back. As we start to slow it down, see if you can keep yourself here. Feeling the breath, listening to the breath. And if things do come up, you can always use the exhale breath to release it, to let it go. Good. Take an inhale. See if you can soften into it as you exhale. Good, awesome job. And then we'll do it on the other side, figure 4, right foot to the ground, cross the edge of your left foot to the top of the thigh, keep your left toes flex, and then gently draw the left knee away. And this might be enough. This might be a great spot for today. Listening to the left hip, the left glute, or maybe you want to place your right foot on the wall, right foot on a block. You can even interlace the fingers behind the right thigh and gently draw the leg towards you. My left side is a little crankier than my right. So sometimes it feels good to lift and other times it feels good to just hang out on the block. And then relax the shoulders, maybe open and close the mouth, slow it down. Maybe come right back to the breath. It's important to remind ourselves that the left and the right side are not the same. So like I mentioned earlier, the side might be a little tighter, a little more open, and that's okay. Being aware and then adjusting, right? Maybe, giving the left side a little more attention or being aware of why the left side might be a little more tighter than the right. What are we doing in our day-to-day to maybe make that happen? But no need to judge it. Take a breath, deep inhale. Soften into it as you exhale. Good, and then awesome job, release. All right, last little bit of work, I promise. So we'll do some bridge or shoulder bridge. So kind of find that imprint position, feet to the ground. Front ribs draw to the pelvis, pelvis draws to the ribs. And then ground down through the feet, slowly start to lift the pelvis off the ground. Lift the low back, lift the mid back, come onto the shoulder blades. So really strong posture. You can even slide a block, maybe at the lowest height, the medium height, and take supported bridge, which is great. It's a really passive, relaxing posture. But if you want to stay more active today, we're just going to hang out here. Maybe palms face up so you can breathe into the chest, the inner shoulders. But try to keep the pelvis, the ribs, the shoulders, and the knees all in a line. So you don't want to twerk your hips up too high and compress the low back, right? So drive the heels down, inner thighs will squeeze to center. Make sure to breathe, see the belly rise and fall in the background. And then gaze is straight up, chin is off the chest. Good. Take a breath, inhale. Stay here for the exhale. So strong. Last inhale, breath. Exhale, release. Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees can go wide. You can always place your blocks to the outer thighs. Kind of give the inner thighs, the low back some support here. Maybe one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Draw the shoulders underneath you. Slow it down. Back bends are really heating. They speed up the breath. They create a lot of heat in the body. Come on, put us into sympathetic mode where we are kind of stressed. And now we're taking time to bring us out of that stressful situation, back to parasympathetic. Kind of training the body to be stressed and then to come out of that stress. And take some time to thank yourself. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for still being here in the recording. Thank yourself for adjusting, honoring what you and your body needed today. Take an inhale. Find gratitude, kindness for yourself. Open mouth, exhale, share it off. And then you can stay here or grab for the outer thighs, gently close your legs like a book. And then we'll come back to that twist that we did in the beginning of class, a little different, but no, you can always take what we did earlier. So option this time to maybe cross the right leg on top of the left. Arms can come off to the side like a T. And then allow the hips to reach to the right as you let the knees fall to the left. Right? So finding maybe a little more rotation here in the spine. But no, the shoulder, the right shoulder especially, and the knees do not have to touch the ground. You can even grab a pillow or a block and place it underneath the shoulder or the knee. And the gaze can be up, or maybe stretch up the cervical spine, the neck. Option to send the gaze over to the right. And see if you can come back here to the breath. Inhales to lengthen. Exhale to gently twist. Good. Take one more deep inhale. Gently twist as you exhale. And then slowly come back to center, unwind. And then take it to the other side. Knees together or cross your left leg on top of the right. Allow the hips to slide to the left. Knees can fall to the right. I like to explore the shoulders. So you might kind of lift the right to make room for the left. And then like always, grab pillows, blocks, place it underneath the shoulder, the knees. And the gaze can be up or maybe chin falls to the left. You can always start to close the eyes here, slowing it down, allowing the body to find rest, digest. This is also a great posture to bring your spine back to its neutral anatomical position, right? Gravity, we don't think about it a lot, but it pulls us down. It's this resistance, it's this weight. Throughout our day, it compresses us, along with the world, along with our postures. So twisting can help us lengthen the spine back out. It's great to do at any point in your day, especially at night. Take a breath, full inhale. Gently twist, rinse it out, let it go, exhale. Good, and then come back to center. And then option for constructive rest pose. Some people also call this teepee pose. So knees will come together and then feet will go out wide. All right, and so that's that internal rotation of the hips, which allows the low back to really lengthen. You might also find some release here in the front, the psoas, the hip flexors. Kind of wiggle the shoulder blades underneath you, but make sure the low back is grounded. And then option to bring the elbows to 90, kind of like a cactus or a goal pose. And then you can hang out here, maybe let the head rock heavy, massage the back of your skull, open and close the mouth. You can even sway the knees, kind of windshield the legs, allow the knees to go to the right, to the left. And then you can come back to center. Feel free to stay here or walk your feet together. And then the hands may have to kind of grab from behind the thighs, but option for like a legs up the wall position. Maybe start to lift one leg and then lift the other. So keep your low back grounded. Allow the low back to ground down. So you might have to kind of engage the front body, right? Front ribs draw to pelvis. Keep a little bend in the legs. You can relax the feet. Maybe roll the ankles, point flex the toes. And if you have tightness in the hamstrings, this is going to be tough. So you can always use the wall, take legs up the wall, or maybe grab from behind the thighs. And if this is too much, you can always skip it. But a great posture is an inversion. The feet, the legs are above the heart here, kind of reversing the circulation in the body. You can even kind of shake out the legs, maybe kind of gently give some love taps to the muscles. You can reach the arms overhead and shake the arms out. Right? Great movement for your lymphatic system that kind of helps get rid of the bad bugs, the bad, bacteria in our bodies. And then you can stay here as long as you want, especially if you're using the wall. This is a great posture to hang out. Or you can start to bend the legs, maybe curl into a ball. Give yourself a hug, pull the knees in, maybe even lift the forehead to the knees. Give yourself a big squeeze. And then when you're ready, we'll take Savasana, corpse pose. So let the arms and the legs go long. Find any shape, any position in the body that feels good. You can always wiggle those shoulder blades underneath you, allow the heart to be supported. Maybe open and close the mouth. Start to close the eyes. But this is, what matters within your yoga practice. Shavasana, this place of rest, even this place of letting go. So for the next few moments, allow yourself to be. Allow yourself to be exactly who you are. And then allow yourself to find some well-deserved rest. It's not often we take time out of our day to just be, to feel the breath, to notice the breath, or to check in. So allow the muscles to soften, feel the ground underneath you, feel supported to let go. And then maybe allow the mind to just be with the breath. Giving the mind a break from clinging, from holding on to things, and allowing the mind to just be. But know if the mind does wander, if thoughts come up, that's okay. Just being aware of that and then letting it go and coming right back here. Meditation, mindfulness is also a practice. So remind yourself we're not here to perfect. We're here to explore, to take time to be ourselves, to let go of the clutter, to let go of the lies we tell ourselves, and to find some well-deserved rest. The mind has wandered off, no worries. With kindness, bring it back. You'll be coming right back to your inhales, letting it all go with the exhale. And if you have extra time, please feel free to stay as long as needed. But whenever you are ready, slowly start to deepen your breath. Start to bring small movements back in. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Maybe roll the ankles, the wrists. Feel nice to take a nice full body stretch. Reach the arms overhead, send the legs long, take some wiggles. And then you can draw your knees to your chest. Stay here, or maybe you rock onto your favorite side for fetal pose, using your bottom arm as a pillow. And slowly start to press yourself up to a seat, Sukhasana. You can cross the ankles or sit on the shins. But once again, bringing awareness to the spine, the pelvis here. So making sure the pelvis, adjusts if needed. So it's right underneath the shoulders. Keeping your low back really long and supported. Relax the shoulder heads back. Grow tall through the crown of the head. Maybe hands come to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And then always an option to take your focal point, your intention, or anything you cultivated with you here on your mat, off your mat. Maybe connecting with the breath, finding moments of stillness, of quietness, being present throughout your day. Letting go of the clutter, letting go of the noise. And we'll seal our practice with a nice round of breath together. When you're ready, take a deep inhale in through the nose, biggest breath yet. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And I thank you all so much for joining me. I think the beautiful practice of yoga, and from my heart to yours, with so much gratitude, I bow. Thank you, thank you.